Alright, Shalom Aleichem. Let's do now Parsha of Vayetzei. Last week was Toldos, now is Vayetzei. We're moving along here, and it's Rosh Chodesh this week on Sunday. Sunday is Rosh Chodesh Kislev, that means 25 days from now is Hanukkah. So we're getting to the depths of winter, which is the 22nd of December. Winter solstice, that's the shortest day of the year, if you live on the equator. And it's okay. Now let's get into Vayetzei. Before we start, I want to tell you that if anybody wants to contact me about anything they hear on the program, go to my telephone number. You can call me on my cell here, 845-826-4789. Also, if you want to have some advice on Parnasa, another stream of income, call me also, 845-826-4789. And now we're on Kol Haloshon and TorahAnytime.com. We're doing a video and audio together. So let's go to Vayetzei. Vayetzei Yaakov me Beersheva. Yaakov left Beersheva. Vayelech Haran, he went to Haran, 480 miles away. He went from oh, it's not on. Alright. So listen. He went from Beersheva, or some say Haran, to Iraq, to Haran, which is across a whole Eretz Yisrael, up there to the top, across Syria, whole desert there, we call, today, Jordan, went all the way across to Iraq. And on the Euphrates River is a place called Haran, down on the Euphrates where Abram came to, from Ur, Kasdim. Anyhow, went to Haran where his Rivka's brother lived, and that's Rivka's brother, that's Yitzchak's brother-in-law. Vayetzei Yaakov me Beersheva. Yaakov left Beersheva. Vayelech Haran. That could take 17, 18, 20 days, but he got there in a minute. Vayifka b'makom. He hit the place. He happened to be impressed by a place. He didn't get there yet, but he got to some place that very impressed him. Vayolen sham, and he slept that night there. Kivo Hashemish, because the sun came down. Now wait a minute. First the sun should come down, then you sleep in a place. Why did he stay in a place before the sun came down? Answer is Hashem brought him to Har Moriah. That's where the base of Mikdash stood. That's where 100 years before Abraham had taken his grandfather Abraham had taken his father Yitzchak for the Akedah. If you work it out, you see that when that Akedah was exactly 100 years before Yaakov has a dream with the ladder. And both of them says Vayei and Lech Lecha. Hashem tells him also Lech Lecha. Go to your place. And Lech Lecha is 100. And it's 100 years between the Akedah when Abraham was 137 and Yitzchak was 37. And when Yaakov now, who's 77, it's 100 years between the Akedah and the dream of the ladder. Anyhow, it's the same place. So Yivka b'makom, he was impressed by a place. Something about the press. Hashem made the sun come down prematurely. And it was a special place. Of course, that's the place of the base of English. And the Akedah. But Yivka b'makom, he was impressed by this place. Not bin mokom, ba mokom. Hey, it's like, it's that particular place. But Yolan Sham, he slept, he slept there. He went to sleep because he knew he had to stay there that night. Something's going to happen. And sure enough, Hashem came to him in a dream. Hashem, the sun is set. He came from the Abnei, the stones of the Mokum. Yosef put it around his head so the animals shouldn't step on him. And what about around his body? He can't build a whole fort around him. All he can do is mishtadel as much as he could. He put the 12 stones around him, and sure enough, in the morning they became one round stone. So we're talking about Nevi'im here. The others are Nevi'im. Yosef put it around his head. And he slept in that place. He dreamt. And behold, there was a ladder standing on the ground. and the head was pointed toward heaven at an angle. The angels of him, of God, Olam, were going up and coming down on it. Shouldn't it be the other way around? First you come down, and then you go up. Come down, take a look at Yaakov, sleeping there, and then go up. I happened to be in that place last year, a year ago. I was in that place in Bethel. It's in Beis El. I saw that place. It's a big sign there. Makom Shel Chalom Yaakov. I hope it's the right place. And it's right there. And the tour guide told me, look all around. He described all the area. Tanakh says. So, and he had a dream, and the angels were coming down. First they were going Olam. They were going up. Olam, going up, then coming down. How can you go up if you didn't come down yet? These are the angels that the two angels Hashem sent to Sodom, but they were punished. They could never get back up to heaven. Because they said, we're going to destroy Sodom. Instead of saying Hashem is going to destroy Sodom, and we were only his shlichim. They said, we're going to do it. So they were punished, never went up. How many years was that? I don't know. 150 years before. And now they're going up. And now new one's coming down. And when they meet, there's two angels and two angels. Two going up, two coming down. 4 angels. But the Gemara asks, how wide is that? So the whole discussion there, how many parsos is. If you figure out the parsos with the milim, because every parsa is 4 mil, and a mil is about 3/4 of a mile, so 4 parsos is about 3 mil, and 3, 9, 12. And so it says, it came out that is the width of that ladder at that point was 25,000 miles. If you do it, and that means that the circumference of the earth is 25,000 miles. Any place in the world you are on the earth, you could have a contact with God if you're holy enough. People have that. Even nowadays, they have come into very close contact with Hashem. So he sees angels. V'hinei Hashem nitzav alov. God is standing over him. Yomer, he says, Ani Hashem Elokei Avram. I am the God of Avram, Avichom, means your grandfather. Elokei Yitzchak, and the God of Yitzchak, your father. He said, Avram Avichom, but it didn't say Yitzchak Avichom, because Avram was already not here anymore, your father. But Yitzchak is still here. In fact, after this incident with Yaakov and Esau, he tricked Esau and took the bracha, because the Bechorah he took when he was 15, and 47 years later, when he was 63, he took the bracha. Then he went to yeshiva for 14 years. Now he's 77 years old. So Yitzchak still is going to live from the time of giving the bracha to Yaakov till 180. He was only 123. Because he got married at 40, he didn't have children until 60. And the 2 boys are twins, and they're 63. Well, 60 and 63 is 123. And the Yitzchak died at 180. He has 57 years to live. So he says to his son, last week's parsha, I don't know when I'm going to die. I want to give you a bracha. What do you mean you don't want to die? No one knows when they're going to die. So what do you mean? Why didn't you tell you at the age of 123, Yitzchak, I want to give a bracha to Esau? Why? Because it says a person who comes within 5 years of his mother or father's misa should worry. And Sarah died at 127 years old. He was 123. That's within 5 years. And number 2 reason, he was born on Pesach, Yitzchak, and this was Pesach. That's why when Rivka told her son Yaakov to give me 2 goats there, one for Korban Chagiga, one for Korban Pesach, so it was Pesach. So someone said, no, he brought him meat and good stuff. Where's the wine? Well, he had wine. Where's the matzah? I don't know about that part. Where's the matzah? It was Pesach. Where's the matzah? Pesach didn't happen yet for 1,000 years. I know, but they knew up front that this would happen, just like you and I know Mashiach will happen. And because Hashem said. So they figured out, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, that what's going to be, so they kept Pesach. So he brought him meat, Korban Chagiga first, you have to eat, then Korban Pesach as a dessert, and wine, very good. Where's the matzah? Okay, it's a good question. Anyhow, so it was Pesach. So he was worried about Pesach, because he was born on Pesach, maybe he's going to die on Pesach. So all tzaddikim die on their birthday. So anyhow, so he said to him, I am the God of your father, Avraham, Avicham, okay, Yitzchak. Was still alive many years. The land you're lying on, I'm going to give it to you and your children forever. That's why they're going to want to take it away from us, the Christians and the Muslims, everybody. But it's ours. That's it. And your children will be like the dust of the earth. Didn't Hashem bless Abraham? You'll be like stars and like sand and dust. 3 things. Stars are untouchable, indestructible, and they give light to the world. Light to the world. That's B'nai Yisrael. We're not destructible. We're indestructible. People walk on us like sand, right? Doesn't help anything. They can't crush us. And the sand is indestructible. Stars are indestructible. Stars give light to the world. Sand you walk on, you can't crush it. And Afar is the greatest blessing of all. Soil, earth. All life comes, all food comes from the earth. You can have all the electronics and technological advances. If you don't have food, that fighter pilot can't fly that plane. And that guy in the airport can't run the tower. And you can't do anything, can't drive a truck. If there's no food, everybody dies out. Food is life. Tchias HaMesim comes from the ground. First man was made from the ground. Doesn't say that the horse and the hippopotamus and the snail and the eagle were made from the ground. Only Adam was made from the ground. The others probably just, Hashem said, and they came into existence. Like the Yom Hashem Yihor. Only man came from Ophir. So man, life, Tchias HaMesim, food, comes from the earth. So Ophir means life. Stars means sand means indestructible, and stars means light. We gave to the world light, knowledge. We're indestructible, and we're the source of life. I'm going to make you kafir arts before Ratzah. You will spread out. Yama v'kedma v'sfon v'negva. The Yama is west, because you go face to Yerushalayim. Behind you is the west, is the Mediterranean Sea. Yama means ma'arava, west, and kedma is in front of you, kedem, east, because that's where the sun comes up first. And Hashem is also Kedem, Kedma, the first one that was ever here. Kedma is east. Can't say that's why we face east, because if you live in Europe or America, you face east. But if you live in Jordan, you face west. If you face Moscow, you face south. And South Africa, Johannesburg, is north. So east is in the eastern part of the Eretz Yisrael is the base of Mikdash. It's only near the Yarden. Yom of Kedma, Tzfon, and north. They Negev and south. Negev where it's dry. And will be blessed to you, all the families of the earth. It was Arecha and your children. And I will be with you. And I will watch you wherever you go. I'll bring you back to this land. I will not abandon you. Until I've done. What I said I would do to you. Yaakov got up from his sleep. Vayikatz Yaakov Mishnoso. Why is Vayikatz 2 yuds? Why 2 yuds? Vayikatz. First of all, he hasn't slept in 14 years. It's the first time he slept. Cuts. He was disgusted from sleep. It's a waste of time. It's like it says in Pirkei Avos, sleep is good for Rishoyim, bad for Tzaddikim. Because you're wasting your life. Oh, you have to sleep, so you sleep a little. Vayikatz. He got up normally, Yud, and Yud, it means he hasn't slept for so many years. He got up from his sleep. Behold, God is in this place. I didn't even know it. I didn't know it. I wouldn't have slept here. But here he was very afraid. First of all, he's afraid that he slept there. Mokum HaMikdash, holy place. And number 2, he's afraid, Nebuch. He said, the Jewish history, told him all of Jewish history, what's going to happen. You have ups and downs. How fearful is this place? Aim said, this is nothing but Kiyam Beisel to him, the house of God. Any place where you, a Torah Jew, lives is the house of God. It's the gateway to heaven. The gate to heaven. When you make contact with Hashem, that is the gateway to heaven. You can have it in any place, any country in the world. Some people make contact, some people never do. Because they're too involved in a world of silly pleasures. And smart people understand that. They don't waste their life on what most people waste their life on. Silly things that don't benefit you a bit. Nothing. You don't take it with you. And people who throw their life away in trivial and trivious things don't really believe in the world to come. Otherwise they'd prepare, wouldn't they? A businessman doesn't waste his life. He prepares to make a next deal, something where he gets some investment, some big return. Why would you waste your life on nothing? Smart people never waste their lives. Yaakov Baboge got up in the morning, took the stone, of the once 12 rocks became one stone. He put it, that it was around his head, but Yosef made it a monument. Put oil on it. You know why oil? Because oil is the only fluid that when you mix it with everything else, it flows to the top. Yisrael, if they keep the Torah, are superior. A mizbeach you dedicated to a higher ideal. And he poured water over this rock, and that's the place where the base of Mikdash was. Rikra Hashem Amakom Hu Beisel, called it the house of God. Which is Bethel, or could be Yerushalayim. By the way, Beis El is the geographic center of Eretz Yisrael. The real, original, biblical Eretz Yisrael. Beis El is the center. You go from Chermon down to, I think, Beersheba, and east to west is exactly in the middle. Beis El. The Ulam, besides Luz, it used to be called Luz. Shem Ha'ir Rishon in the beginning. Okay, now I want to tell you something. About 8 years ago, they, in the year 2003, a secular company that does satellite photography took a picture of Eretz Yisrael, and it happened to come out. They took a picture of the whole country, and when somebody noticed, when the camera was up 580 miles up in the air, and they took a photograph, a satellite photograph of Eretz Yisrael, they noticed in the area where Bet El was, inside, in the grottos of the mountain, was carved naturally Yud K Vav K. I have that map. It's a big glossy map. It costs like $30. It's a big thing. You see Yud K Vav K, and I have a picture right here in my chumash. And if you want to know more about it, how to get it, give me a call. 845-826-4789. There's a picture in satellite picture, 580 miles up, and year 2003. And it just, by accident, the people in Bethel noticed it. I know a man who was one of the machers in Bethel. You see right here, Yud K Vav K. The Yud maybe 5 miles long. I don't know. It's grotto in the stone. And he says that Yaakov didn't know that God was there. V'yikra Hashem hamokum ahu Beis El. Yesh Hashem b'mokum hazeh. V'anochi lo yadati. For 4,000 years, nobody knew it till now. Till 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 2003. There was interesting, right? You know, I don't know if you can go online and Google it. Over Bethel, the satellite picture of Bethel has Yud K Vav K in the mountain engraved. Okay, Rabbi side, we're done for this little section of our Parshas Vayetzei. Stay well and have a good week. And tune in if you want a daily dose of Torah. Call Haloshon 718-395-2440 and press my code number 11101. Zayzon.